Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I have another update for my hashtag 365 days of samples. I feel like the year is just flying by. So as always, I'm just going to dive in here and I'll start with the products that I would not purchase the full size of. So the first thing I will start with is this little Urban Decay Vice Lipstick sample. I'm still working away on these. This is in the shade Seismic. And that's a swatch of it on the back of my hand. I'm also wearing a little bit of it on my lips, but it's also mixed with something else. I've worn it a couple times in videos, but it was always mixed with something because it's really sheer. And I don't care that much for sheer formulas. It depends what kind of look you're going for, obviously, but this was disappointing because in the little packet it looked so opaque and so pigmented that I was expecting to see what it looked like. Like, I was expecting to see that on my lips and not really sheer. So it was a bit of a letdown, but anyway, at least I got to try it, and I just know that as nice as the formula is of the sheer lipsticks, they are not for me. I'm just not into that kind of finish right now. I definitely want a lot of pigment and a lot of power. I don't really like seeing my own lips like peek out from underneath the lip color. So that's why this one didn't work for me. If the color had been like exactly what it was in the packet, I probably would have been all over this, but it wasn't the case, not meant to be. I have finished up a few of my deluxe size samples finally. So I have the Lancome Visionaire. This is the advanced skin corrector that's supposed to help with wrinkles, pores, and evenness. So I had already finished another one sample that was the exact same size, and I put that in my try again. It didn't work for me. I really wanted it to. I mean, I really want all the products to work for me. I never go into using any of these products hoping that it's not going to work. I really do hope that I'm going to come across some really good gems, some, you know, some surprising finds, which I have, but this one just was not one of them. The first thing I really could not get over was the smell. It's really heavily fragranced and it lingered, so I didn't like the fragrance. It was very floral, you know, and it just sort of irritated me a little bit. And then as far as actually seeing something, like, as bad as the fragrance was, if this product had been amazing, I might have been able to overlook that, but I just didn't notice improvement in my skin while using this particular product, so that's why I would pass on it. The Nude Pro Genius Rescue Oil. So this thing I've been working on for a very, very long time. You can see like the tiny little bit that's left on the bottom, but where this sample is a dropper, it's kind of difficult, and just pouring it out I was trying to, but you know where things always get caught like in between like little grooves when you pour it? That's why there always seems to be like a tiny bit of product left in things. So I tried using this on its own as it's intended to be, as a facial oil, and I did not like it. I just found that it kind of stayed on my skin, and a few times it ended up making my pores look really big, and I did not obviously care for that. So using it that way, it wasn't worth it. But I used it as sort of like a skin calmer, I guess, when I was trying to take off a lot of makeup, because sometimes, especially when I'm filming, I will put a lot of makeup on, and it can take a lot of time to take the makeup off just because there's so many layers. So I would do like an initial wipe down with like micellar water or something, and then put a bit of the oil on, and then remove the oil and cleanse my face again, which seemed to really like soothe my face and relax it. So, and it wasn't irritated as it could be if I was like really like over and over and over again trying to get all this kind of makeup and glue and stuff off. So it worked for me that way, but it's not something that I need to purchase. I have a lot of other oils, and there's a lot of like cheaper alternatives if I was going to do something like that than getting a super expensive oil just for that reason. I finished up the Becca Luminous Body Perfecting Mousse in Palm Beach. So this was tricky, and basically I just decided one day that I was just like, I'm going to put this on my body to use it, because a few times like when I put it on my arms and stuff, it just looked orange. Like, I just had that bit of an orange tint. I didn't have that sort of like beach goddessy kind of thing going. It was just like here's a pale person trying to like use some kind of tanning thing, and it didn't work. So I just used it up to use it. Not for me. The formula is like nice because it's really creamy and moussey, and I think that if you are looking for something like temporary and you're really into that bronzy thing and you're not like Casper the Ghost, then you'd probably really benefit from this for like a party or an event or something, because it's definitely not intended to be like long wearing, and it's not a gradual tanner. It's just like a one-time kind of deal. So for those kind of people, this would be a great product for. For me, it's not. I finished up the Shiseido Ultimate Sun Protection Cream. This is SPF 50. It was okay. I mean, it was a sunscreen. It seemed to do its thing. I didn't like this as much as some of the other sunscreens I did use. This is for face, and I did find that it was a little bit too heavy, like a little bit too thick in comparison to some of the other ones I've used, that even if they were thick, they kind of absorbed easily so that I could apply makeup and everything else on top of it without having to worry about the effect of like the sunscreen. And this stuff just, I don't feel like my makeup looked as good when I put it on top of using the sunscreen as it did when I used some of the other sunscreens. I know I'm saying sunscreen a lot. Wow, Elle, say sunscreen one more time. Okay, so anyway, it was really just the feeling of it on my face that made me pass. And some foils. The La Roche-Posay, the Lipid Replenishing Body Balm. Oh my god, thank god I was given a heads up on the stickiness of this thing, because is it ever sticky? Wowza. I'm glad I knew what I was getting into before I opened the packet, because I just would have hated life. So knowing ahead of time that it was sticky, I used it on like my elbows, because when I was wearing a t-shirt, never long sleeve shirts, because that would have driven me crazy. But that way I could moisturize like that area that was getting a little bit dry. But otherwise, like, I don't really have a lot of dry patches, so I just used it that way. And there actually wasn't a whole lot in this packet. I only used it like 3 times and it was done, thankfully, because it's too sticky. And it would be really good if you had really dry skin and you had a lot of issues with extreme dryness. This would be a great product for that. But for someone who's really sensitive to the textures and the way lotions and balms and stuff feel, it wasn't good for me. The Vichy Deep Cleansing Purifying Gel, you know, it was a cleansing gel. It sort of worked, and I mean sort of is that when I would put it on my face when I wasn't wearing makeup, it made my face feel okay. When I put it on my face trying to remove makeup, it was no bueno. This stuff was just a hot mess, and it just like moved makeup all over my face, and I had a harder time removing it after using this stuff. So it left me thinking, like, what's the point of using a cleanser if it's going to cause more problems removing makeup and stuff than without using it? Like, it was just not good. It was not good. This is one of the worst, I think, cleansers I've used recently. So it might have something to do with being gel, that it doesn't mesh well with my skin. I've had issues with gel products before. So anyway, the Vichy Deep Cleansing Purifying Gel was a huge fail for me. And the last product that I would not purchase the full size of, I know I have a ton today. This one is from Tata Harper. This is the Regenerating Cleanser. So it's a daily exfoliating and clarifying treatment. You know, it worked pretty well. I didn't mind it. It's just that I don't really like the exfoliating cleanser combos, the ones that have those sort of like grainy things in it. I like a straight cleanser and then I like a separate exfoliator. I don't like them meshed together. I just don't find it's as effective as using the 2 separate products, so then I can find the right cleanser for me and the right exfoliating treatment. Maybe if this one happened to combine both of them, then that would be a different story, but it did not do what I hoped it would do. So that is everything for the products that I would not purchase the full size of. I have one lone product that I would purchase the full size of, and this is from Strivectin. This is the Advanced Retinol Intensive Night Moisturizer. So this stuff was surprisingly good. So this product, and one that I'm still working on, the Drunk Elephant Oil, wow, like, I want to go and buy both of those products right now and use them in the evening forever, because my skin looks so good. This was one of those surprising moments where I had put the oil on first, and then a few hours later I put on this moisturizer and then went to bed. And when I woke up in the morning, it was one of those like, I'm so tired, I'm so dead, getting ready for work things. I went and looked in the mirror, like to wash my face, and I just looked at my face and I was like, whoa, where did that like evenness come from? Why does my skin look so good? I couldn't think of it. Like, I just was like, why does my skin look so good and I feel so terrible? And I remembered the products that I'd used, the oil and this thing, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's a good sign. So the next night I used the moisturizer on its own and my skin looked so good. And I've used the oil on its own and my skin looked good. So I was like, I know the two of them together, it's like an amazing combination of beautiful skin, and I've just needed to use like so much less foundation and all this other stuff just to have like good looking skin. So good on you, Strivectin. I've heard such good things about retinol products for like the anti-aging stuff, and I used them previously and they didn't work as well for me, and this particular thing, definitely need to get this like really soon because it worked really well. I've tried a few products now that have worked for me that are like night products, and I want to get a couple of them and rotate between them because maybe I can just have amazing looking skin all the time. That would be so good. The sample box. I'm doing pretty well, so I think maybe I'll go back to 7 for right now just to see, and I'm not gonna drop them like I had been doing before. I have a table right next to me, so I'm gonna leave them here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so I have some pretty good products again this week. The first thing I have here is from Clarins. This is the Double Serum Hydric plus Lipidic System. So it says that it is more than just a serum. This intensive anti-aging treatment, rich in 20 plant extracts, boosts the skin's 5 vital functions to reveal a visibly younger looking you. Sounds promising. The next product I have here is from Dr. Brandt. I've actually used this one before and really liked it. This is the Oxygen Facial Flash Recovery Mask. I have from Sunday Riley the Tidal Brightening Enzyme Water Cream. The next product I have here is from Vita Liberata. It is the Passion Flower and Argan Dry Oil with an SPF 50. I have from Shiseido the Wrinkle Resist 24 Intensive Eye Contour Cream. I have from Eau Thermale Avene the Physio Lift Night. And the last product I have here is from a brand called Elle, and it is a rose lip conditioner. So that sounds pretty cool. So that is everything for my update this week. As always, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns down below. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye. Hi everybody, welcome. Hi, okay. The attitude today, don't find it as effective